Wake the fuck up!
Okay.
We start now.
Ready.
Are you hydrated? You ready?
I'm ready. I got my water. What more does a man need?
Really nothing, except for our podcast stuck at the kids' table.
Dude,
We're here. We're here for episode 3. Can you believe it? We made it this long.
Yeah, it's probably further than we did it consistently than we started last time. Actually.
Yeah, I will be honest. I was hanging out with some people last night, and they wanted me to stay in town, and I was like, I can't do it. I was like, we've done this like 2 or 3 times already. Something always comes up and derails us. But no, not this time. We're sticking to it. That water almost derailed us. I was ready. I was ready to go into the intro, and I had that water intro, and then you were like, "Oh, I didn't get my water yet." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I would be mad, but I don't know if you saw the post game, or it wasn't really. It was like right after the game, still on the court. They were interviewing LaMelo Ball. They're like, LaMelo, you were 2 assists away from, I think it was his triple double. Again today. What's your secret? And he goes, water. You know, H2O. He was kidding. But for a split second, I think every kid in the world who watched him was like, I drink water. I could be the next LaMelo Ball.
I am LaMelo Ball.
We're the same person. Water. We're the same person. But how'd you pass week? Well, we haven't exactly hit a week yet. Once the episode comes out, it'll be. But what the people don't know is the movie magic behind the scenes. We're recording a day early today because you're getting taken out to Thanksgiving tomorrow because you got to work.
Yeah,
a big boy job.
This is, I think, I was actually going to talk about this. I think this is the first year where we have different Thanksgiving plans.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh,
weird.
Bonkers.
Yeah,
you better not have different Christmas plans. You coming home for that, boy?
I hope so. The retail grind is merciless, Dan.
That's true. That's some of the busiest times of the year. Just an insane amount of people like in the stores and everybody, especially with you where you work. Yeah, you actually sell not consumer products. So people are going bonkers for Black Friday. And everybody's doing the week early thing. I told you today, I just literally maybe 20 minutes ago got back from Target. I bought a 65-inch 4K TV. Not like the fancy OLED. I'm pretty sure it's an Ultra HD, smart TV. But that's an upgrade for me. And that's enough for me.
What brand did you get, Dan?
It's Element, so it's not
Oh,
no. Well, I have a Westinghouse TV, and that's lasted me it had to have been maybe junior high when I bought it. I was really young, but
dude, Westinghouse and Element are the kings of cheap.
The bottom barrel. It was $350 off. It's a 4K TV. As long as it's not going to explode or look like complete garbage, I'll live with it,
So you say $350 off. If you don't mind me asking, what did that bring the total to?
$300.
$300?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, that's way too much.
Insanity. No, I got a 60-inch recently, and I paid $550, I think.
Yeah. Well, that was my other thing was there was TVs that were $400 or $500, but they were also only $100 off or something. And maybe they just haven't ever discounted this model, so it makes it look that much better that they can just say that they took $350 off, and a consumer chump like me will be like, yes, please. But it just seemed like that much better of a deal to me. It's also, I was going to bring this up, I forgot, this is why I didn't tell you about it before. I think this is the first time I've ever bought a protection plan for anything.
Wow.
I know. Because it was $30. And I was like, well, it's $350 off. I never know what's going to happen between here and my house, and once I get it in the house, I don't know what's going to happen. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean that's pretty cheap for a protection plan. Did you have any problem fitting it in your car?
I knew it was gonna fit because my seats can fold down, but I've like never had to fold down my seats. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Shout out to the guy who helped me load my stuff at Target. That dude, I was trying to figure it out from the inside, the back seat, and I'm getting flustered because we've been out there for like, it probably really hasn't been that long, but there was also like 15 other people in the store, it's not a lot, but for like 8 a.m. at a Target, that's a pretty good chunk. So I'm like, I feel so terrible. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to find this like latch thing to pull on the inside, and he literally like he's like pull the seat, and I pull the seat down. He's in my trunk. He's like yeah, I found the latch back here. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, dude, you really didn't have to do that.
Well,
And
he's
like,
probably, you have to realize he probably has done that a ton. So he like,
oh
he
yeah,
probably,
probably.
probably like knows the vibes of where everything like that is, you know.
He even told me, he's like, yeah, we used to fold down our seats so our buddies could like fit in the back of or it was his buddy's car, and he's like, yeah, we used to fold down the seats and like just stick a bunch of our buddies in the back of the car so we could all ride around to a place and not have to drive however many cars. And he's like, so I kind of knew where the latch was at. And I was like, you're a real one, man. You probably have stories.
Yeah. It's an odd story that sort of came out of that, I guess.
I know. Yeah. I had probably like, well, I say he had to rush back into the store, but then I went back in to get a couple games after we took the TV out, and I walked and talked with him for like probably like 5-10 minutes. So,
Wow.
so hopefully you didn't get in trouble with your boss, man. But yeah, I was gonna say it's about that time of year for Black Friday, but it's about that time of year for like new Black Friday. We've been doing this for like the past 2 or 3 years, where it's like, I feel like it's like week-long deals, you know?
Yeah, and it's way more online centric now too.
True.
That's definitely a COVID symptom, I feel like, though.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, though, I feel like, because that first day, it's probably still kind of crazy, but then, like, the rest of the week, it's probably a little bit busier, but not as busy as it would have been if it's just, like, literally this one day, and then it's super busy, and then, like, the 2 days after, you have, like, people coming in, like a vulture, like I used to, just picking up the scraps of, like, $2 movies that came out that year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I kind of look for those deals, too.
Yeah, I haven't vultured. I don't know if I'm going to buy much this year, honestly.
The TV, and then I think I got 3 or 4 video games. This is all for my physical stuff, but might get some stuff on Steam.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few games I've been looking at, and the only big purchase was there was a Samsung sound bar that was a pretty significant amount off, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, this would be pretty nice, but
Yeah,
this is really expensive.
Right. Well, that's my thing. Was like I've been looking at getting a dog over the next like couple of months, seeing if I can get in the running for one, and that's not cheap either. Like you've got the adoption fees, and then you've got food every month. Jeez, and getting like a haircut every month, and then food consistently as they need it, and vet visits if anything were to go wrong. So it all adds up, and I don't want to get a dog if I can't like fully take care of it. You know, I would feel terrible.
Dude, there's nothing worse. I've been going to a lot of friends' places around here lately, and I'll like go in, and almost all of them have pets, and I'm like, God, cute dog, or like, this is a really cute cat. And like every time I'm like, dude, I need to see somebody with a shitty pet. Just the worst fucking dog.
This sucks. I never want a pet. Well, that's
then
like,
be like, oh, I wouldn't want to do this.
But that's like been my experience sometimes. There's people who are like, you can tell they're born to take care of animals because their pets are completely happy. Their house is very clean. Like the pet's dwelling is extremely clean and well kept up. But then there's been times where I go to people's houses and I'm like, wow, it smells like shit and vomit in here. And there's a lot of shedding all over the house, like you don't clean up. And there's a lot of just dog or cat food scattered around the whole house. And they're like, yeah, he just kind of does whatever he wants. And the dog comes out of the room and just like pushes a vase off of the table and then like flexes. Like, what are you gonna do about it? That last part was made up, but
I haven't had that experienced yet. Every pet I've seen has been well behaved since I moved here and like started making friends this year.
Yeah. Right.
But so yeah, I don't know. And then the other night, dude, it was so adorable. This guy, we were at one house and some other guy's coming. He's like, "Hey, can I bring my dog?" And the guy whose house it was like, "Yeah, sure." He brings his dog. It's this little tiny fucking wiener dog, and the other dude's got these big dogs,
Whoa.
and they're just like looking down on this little fucking wiener dog like it's a squirrel or something, dude.
I think the funniest interactions that happen with that variety type of animals is the small dog is the aggressor 90% of the time.
Oh
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
that's funny.
It's like, get the fuck away from me, and the big dogs are like, yeah, man, yeah. I'll just I'll go somewhere else. Yeah. No, this is all you, big dog. Yeah. I was just leaving. It's cool. But I think there's been a few that I've seen on Facebook and like humane society. That's where like humane societies and pounds and stuff. That's kind of where I want to get them. That's kind of where my social media viewing has shifted. I haven't been on Twitter as much, but you were telling me about you've been seeing like these like social media maps or something on Twitter.
Dude, I know you've definitely seen these before.
I told you you'd have to explain it because I'm sure when you did, I would get it, but I wasn't just from the name. I was like, huh?
So it's, I think the worst aggressor of it, or one of the worst aggressors of it, is like every Barstool account. I feel like you see these all the time.
You saying Barstool made it click in my head. I immediately realized
starting
what pictures that you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, if it's still unclear for some folks listening, what I'm talking about is it'll be like most popular this in this state. So like there was one, it was oh geez, there's so many.
I don't think there's ever been one that I agree with either.
No, well that's what it is. It's that it's not meant, you? It's not meant to be right. It's meant to piss you off, to farm impressions, and then it gets mad popular. And it happens every time.
You really just big brained that. That's crazy. I know I saw one that was like Halloween candy. And I can't remember what Iowa's was, but I looked at it and I was like, I don't think I've ever enjoyed one of those in my entire life.
I want to say Iowa's was candy corn. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
See, there's... Candy corn's not bad, but I don't... How could it be anybody's favorite? You know? Candy corn is just like this thing that immediately turns to mush. Like,
yeah, it's alright, into like, it. It's not.
Nobody's like mapping out their trick-or-treating route and being like, okay, we need to go to North 15th Street. They're handing out just bags on bags of candy corn.
Dude, they got such good candy corn.
Yo, they got candy corn. Oh my gosh. I was listening on the radio. I have to tell you about this because I remember there was a house that handed them out all the time and it was my favorite, but they were shitting on it on the radio. They were talking about the top like worst things you can get on Halloween, and number one was a popcorn ball.
Like, they were just getting bad popcorn balls, I guess, man.
They must have been, man, because the ones we got were just like busted. They were amazing. They were out of this world. It was an older lady from the church that we used to go to. I know because mom and dad. I think it was the first year. I was like, I don't know these people. Why are we going here? And then we went there, and she's like, here's a popcorn ball. And I was like, this is weird, lady. Give me like chips and a can of pop, like the guy across town does. Because there was a guy who used to do that. And then I took the bite of it, and I was like, oh my god, this should be hitting. They didn't actually say it verbatim like that because I think it was like 5 or 6, but you know, I was probably like, this is so good, let's go get another one. And my mom said, that's not how trick-or-treating works. I think I probably could have changed my costume and gotten another one, but yeah, so I was upset about that, hearing that on the radio, but were you able to find any of the other maps?
Yeah, so the one that set it off back in my head was one that was posted by Barstool, of course, earlier this week. and it's the most popular beer in each state.
Is Bush probably
And
for Iowa?
you sure would think, Dan,
Oh
but
no.
because of that, they put Guinness.
Oh yeah. So you were 100% right.
Yeah.
They're just putting wrong answers to like make people comment and be like, no way, Iowa loves Bush. You not know anything about
Mhm.
anything in the world?
And then exactly, yeah, every top comment it just says Guinness, no fucking shot, it's Guinness. Shit like that. It's so annoying.
That's crazy, dude. I never thought
But
about that. Like, I would think you would get more of a positive reaction and still get a good amount of it. But I suppose you probably get more. What is it? There's no such thing as bad press.
yeah,
So I guess if you can get more from a negative, like putting the wrong thing and just people like giving you impressions that way, then just like putting the actual thing and people being like, "This is spot on, man!" Like crazy.
yeah.
People
I
being like,
also I think we're pretty late to like when it was big and popular, but like we didn't have a podcast when it was bigger, so I get
"Yeah,
to
we're
bitch
bringing it
about it
back."
now
If you
instead.
have if you have a problem with it, shut up about it. Just
But
kidding.
yeah,
Please keep listening.
it's so annoying, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess I haven't seen him as much recently, but it was just I saw that and it like brought it back up,
you wanted a what
and I
grinds
was
my
like,
gears
yeah,
session to just go
I
off about
needed to
it.
pop off about it a little bit.
Well, after that just horror, just shitting all over social media maps, we can go to something beautiful that happened to me this week, and that was going to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. So if you're planning on watching that, you can probably skip like 5 or 10 minutes ahead because I'm gonna spoil. Well, let me ask for. Do you care if I talk about it? I don't think you're a
Me?
Ghostbusters fan. Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
go for it, man.
So you can skip 5 or 10 minutes ahead if it's something you're pretty passionate about. I know I was, because like I said in the last episode, it was one I grew up like watching with Dad. But oh my gosh, dude, I cried so much at the end of that movie. I'm a big like like I cried during the Notebook. Just watched Tick Tick Boom yesterday. I cried for like it had to be the last like 15-20 minutes of that movie, dude. But Ghostbusters, anyway, what it is Egon Spangler, the actor who played him. Let me look it up real quick. Because I want to make sure I get Harold Ramis. He died. Oh, when did he pass away? 2014. Okay, so he was an original Ghostbuster. The story of this one is they have him die in the movie as well. That's like how the movie starts out. And then his daughter and grandkids move out to this really crappy old house that he had in Somerville, a really small town. And there's weird stuff going on. And they find out it's like kind of a continuation of the plot. It takes plot points from the first two movies, which I thought was really cool. The Keymaster and the Gatekeeper are these two like things that are trying to open the gateway for a god to come back and just absolutely obliterate the world with all the other ghosts. So then his grandkids and some other cool misfits. One of my favorite characters, Podcast, just walks around with a mic and is constantly recording everything for his podcast.
His name is podcast.
Yeah, Podcastception. We're talking about podcasts on a podcast. I don't think that's like his God-given name that his parents named him, but that is the mantle that he has taken up and given to himself. Which he was kind of a cool, like quirky character. And then Finn Wolfhard is one of the grandkids, and then he's got a granddaughter who's like just like him, loves science and everything. Paul Rudd, that's the guy's name, right? Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Man. Paul Rudd is this guy who's like obsessed with the Ghostbusters. He's a teacher in the town. He teaches summer school. And anyways, the ghosts all get like let back out, and the Gatekeeper and Keymaster all like come together and then let out that crazy god, and they're trying to set up all these traps to trap all the ghosts and end it all forever. And they place a call to Dan Aykroyd, who's one of the past Ghostbusters when they're in jail in an earlier point in the movie, and she has to hang up on him. Well, right at the end of the movie, when they're trying to like send this lady back and stuff's the god back, and stuff's all starting to go wrong. They show up. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and I can't ever remember the other Ghostbusters name. I feel terrible. But he just doesn't have that many lines in the movie. Ernie Hudson.
I think you're talking about Clyde.
No. Ernie. He just threw out a name.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about.
I know.
I think you're talking about Winston. Winston is his actual name. Yeah, Winston. He's played by Ernie Hudson, who's actually like in the after credits scene where they're like trying to set up that there can be future Ghostbusters if they want to, but they don't have to commit to it. But so they show up at the end and they're like fighting off the goddess that's trying to take over the world, and they're not strong enough. They even cross the streams and everything like they did in the earlier movie to kill the Stay Puft Man, the big marshmallow, and they just can't do it. So then the granddaughter of Egon stands up, and she just starts firing the proton pack, and it's not doing anything. She's getting pushed back by it, and all of a sudden, Egon's ghost, they just pan the camera over a little bit. You see a hand, like a ghost hand on the under barrel of the proton pack gun, and he's holding onto it with her, helping her hold her ground. And then Finn Wolfhard's character like shoots this trap that was having power issues with a proton pack, opens up like the hundreds of traps that they have all over the field, and it's like how the movie ends. So it was, oh my god, that's right when I cried, was when Egon showed up. I was like, oh my god, like, oh, I'm getting like tears welling up just thinking about it. But
that sounds very much like a movie that would be good if you like Ghostbusters.
Yes. That's 100%. Yeah. You have to have seen the first. I think it's still an enjoyable movie if you just go and see it, but you're not going to have that connection like I had, and like probably hundreds of other people who maybe took their grandkids to it. Because there's younger kids with some older folks who were there, and just some people who were probably a little older than me, mid-20s or 30s, who were there seeing it and probably saw it when they were younger growing up, that their parents might have shown it to them. So it was really cool. I liked it a lot. It's gotten good reviews as well. Or I'm not going to say like bonkers reviews. It's got a 7.8 and a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, but so it's not a terrible movie critically, and to me, if you've seen the first two movies that came out in the 80s, like, you'll love it. It was so good.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'd seen ads for it, and like all I knew was I was like, oh, Finn Wolfhard, Paul Rudd are in this. I know them.
Yeah. Looking at that,
I haven't even. I just don't go to movies very often anymore. I need to start going to more.
That was kind of my thing. Was there was people who were like hacking, like really hacking, coughing. They weren't like hacking into the mainframe, just coughing so loud throughout the movie, and it sounded like a sick cough with like a bunch of mucus in it. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna describe it because if I had to live through it, you do too. It was just disgusting. It wasn't like consistent throughout the movie, and I think it was maybe I wasn't like in that locked in point where you get sometimes in a movie, because for like the last 20 or 30 minutes of the movie, the climax and everything going on, I didn't notice it. But when they're setting up the story and everything, like, and there's breaks and stuff, I was like, I noticed it, you know? So it just gets kind of annoying. Again, the streaming service versus like movie. We've beat that horse to death already, talking about it in the last 2 episodes, so I won't try and go off on a tangent about it, but again, the give and take of it, pros and cons of both. So, you know. Talking about streaming and movies, I know we're going to talk about it with Jason, so I'll just say that Tick Tick Boom was very great, and just, you know, leave it at that for my impressions so far.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I know you told me it's like your favorite movie of the year, and I think I'm right there with you. It's very good. Very well done.
For the interview episode next week, our first guest of the Rebooted podcast. So
Jason Lee, correct? Is his last name?
Yes, sir.
He plays
Greatest
amazing
pianist
piano
in the Midwest.
player. Yeah, he's bonkers insane. I watch his Snapchat story, and I think I've got his Instagram page too. He's very good. But we'll delve pretty deep into that next week, I'm sure. when we've got him on here to interview. But,
Yeah, look into the future movies. You want to talk about that Spider-Man trailer a bit?
oh, that's right. Yeah.
We talked quite a bit about Spider-Man last week, so we probably don't need to talk about it too much.
That's okay.
But...
I know we talked about the anticipation of it. I'm gonna get caught out in 4K because I said that if they weren't in the trailer, I was gonna say they're not in the movie, but they've got to be in the movie, man. Andrew Garfield and Toby.
You're coping, dude. You're coping.
I have copium. Yeah. But the theory I want to share that one of my friends had that just sent me to Insano land, I thought it was so cool, and it's got to happen now, is when Zendaya was falling towards the end of the trailer. It's spoilers if you haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man 2. Been out for however many years, but when I can't remember if it's MJ or Gwen Stacy in that movie.
It's Gwen Stacy.
When she's falling in nearly the same position that Zendaya was in that trailer. So he thinks that Peter is just going to having the absolute living hell beat out of him in that scene, and he's not going to be able to save Zendaya. And Andrew comes in and saves her, and it's going to be him and Toby in really cool poses, just there to help out with the fight. But I don't know. There's also been speculation. Someone showed in the Brazil trailer or something, Lizard looks back like he got hit by something. I'm yeah, he probably could have gotten hit by a piece of trash or something. Sandman makes sandstorms. There's probably stuff flying around in there, you know.
Well, it looks. I've seen that clip that you're talking about, and he gets punched.
You think so?
Yeah, there's something that hits him, man. That ain't no trash.
I'll release a public apology if that is what happens. But I would like to apologize.
A tearful apology video.
To my viewers, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I just thought it was a good take at the time. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to be saying that. Because Logan's also going to owe me $5 because he said he didn't think Willem Dafoe was in the trailer. And I was like, that is Willem Dafoe. It's Green Goblin. He doesn't think Willem Dafoe is playing Green Goblin. You can look at IMDb. You can listen to the trailers. It's Willem Dafoe. I promise you.
Dude, you need to stop making bets with Logan about those things, though.
No, I need to get my $5 back for Donda.
The Donda, right?
Yes, because it literally came out the day after. I was it's going to come out on Friday, and then it came out. I think it came out Sunday.
Yeah, for context, Dan bet our buddy Logan that Kanye West would actually hit a release date, and Logan, like a sensible man, said that it was going to not hit the release date. And got $5 out of a bet from it.
Okay, well, it was a wide window. If I would have said he's going to release it this weekend, I would have won. But I said he's going to release it this Friday. And then 2 days after, I woke up after going out drinking at bars, and he said, "Hey, Donda's out." I was like, "Oh my God, really, Kanye? You going to do me like that?" I hate you. I am still going to buy his shirt with the tweet that says, "I be nice at ping pong," though, just because that's funny. And I do be nice at ping pong, so. Double layer, it works. You know?
Nice enough to have a shirt about it, though, Dan.
That's
nice
the thing.
Nice enough to have a shirt about it.
That's true. I did want to get the one with the quote about the Lady Gaga doing Polaroid, but I couldn't find it.
I don't know if that translates well to a shirt.
It is very
that
weird.
That is a very good video, though.
I liked some of the Gaga music. What the fuck does she know about cameras? Oh gosh, I don't know much about cameras either, if we're being honest. So
yeah, who does, man?
Imagine just being able to put your you're such a big name you can just paste your name on something. She's the creative director of Polaroid, and she probably doesn't have to lift a finger.
Yeah, I mean, you could. What the fuck does any celebrity know about making cologne and shit? And their names are all over that type of stuff.
Yeah. Wow, branding, huh?
Yeah, that's
crazy. What have you been listening to for music lately? You had any new stuff that you're listening to?
For music?
Yeah. I know not to call you out here or make you seem like you don't like current music or anything, but I know you really vibe with video game jams.
Yeah, that's what because it's nice to listen to while studying and shit. Yeah,
I was gonna say it's really good ambient music. You can really do it. You can really listen to it to anything. You put me onto it. I listen to your playlists with your video game music because
Dude, I've got a lot of like niche genre playlists. I've got that. I've got a fucking Broadway playlist. Like, who the fuck's got a Broadway playlist?
you also put me on to putting like funny descriptions for your playlists. Like my sad one, anytime I'm sad, it's when you want McDonald's but mom says there's food at home.
I get a really odd satisfaction out of just making playlists.
Dude,
You
it's
know?
fun. If you're like, I'll only do it when I've got like just a conglomerate, like huge amount of like music in my liked songs, and then I've got like a bunch of stuff in my liked songs from like 3 years ago that I don't want to listen to anymore. I'll just add the new stuff to a playlist, then eventually filter out that playlist.
My most recent one I made is the one I play back in the warehouse at work sometimes, and it's just called "No Sir, We Don't Have Any PS5s in Stock."
I was wondering why you named it that. I was like, it's funny out of context even, but like in context, I'm sure it's even funnier. So that's definitely funnier. Yeah, that you listen to it at the warehouse at work. That's amazing. I have been listening to Silk Sonic a lot lately.
Dude, I haven't listened to the full album yet.
Oh, it's so okay. Well, you've got that like really high blissful state that you're at right when an album drops when you're on copium and it's artists that you like where you're like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever listened to. This is the best album that's ever came out. And I was like, it's only 9 songs long, but all of them hit. And I'm like, well, like listening to it, let's look at the tracks. The Silk Sonic intro, that's just like a cool like minute long thing. Leave the Door Open's been out long enough now where like I've listened to it enough where it's kind of got that just like it's still a good song, but I've listened to it enough where I want to listen to other stuff. Fly As Me has a really, really cool. So, like, if you don't know, I'm pretty sure the take that I get from An Evening with Silk Sonic is it's kind of like that, kind of like funk, and like there's really good drum fills and the bass lines are crazy good, like banging. And Fly As Me is the best. It's just got crazy funky like bass lines, like funk disco kind of stuff. After Last Night, kind of a softer, like more laid back one. Smoking Out the Window was another like single release. That one's really good. I like that. Put On a Smile. Now that's where the album takes a real twist. You know, it's a sad song about just going through life and you gotta put on a smile. And I was like, man, like right in the middle. It's a real switch of pace, but if you need that kind of song, then that's a good song. 777. That's one I don't like as much. It's definitely got a bunch of the bass and drums in it, but the lyricism isn't there for me. It's pretty much just hitting 3 7s and a Lotto machine, and they say that they're gonna buy Las Vegas after after they roll that. And I'm like, I don't think you can buy Las Vegas, but I do appreciate the musicianship there, fellas. Skate, that was one that came out as a single. Again, it's the same thing as Leave the Door Open for me. It's been out long enough and I listened to it too much. And then Blast Off. That's a good outro track to me. Very good. But I was definitely really, really high on the album. But now I'm like, it's still really good music, but it's not my favorite album. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a very cool idea, though. I get behind it 100% that it's Bruno Mars and Anderson. I'm pretty sure it's Anderson .Paak. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Pac, not Pac. But like them coming together, they definitely like lend their voices and like styles to each other. So it was like really cool, and it also put me on to Anderson .Paak. I started listening to a lot more of his music. He had Fire in the Sky, I think, from the Shang-Chi album. That's a really good song. I listened to that album too. For that movie after it came out, because I'm pretty sure 88 Rising was like behind it, and I think they might be the label for Joji, and I like Joji's music quite a bit, so I just have a weird music taste. I don't think a lot of people listen to my music. Young Gravy, let me yeah. See, that's what my upbeat playlist I have is Don't Tell the Cops I Emulate Pokemon. What was it? AC Alone. You had that song. I Can Get It Myself in one of your playlists, and I added
Dude,
that.
yeah.
I'd
I
never
vibe
heard
with
of him
that one.
before, but I like some of his songs. Like he's one of those artists where I don't think I'd listen to like a whole album or anything, but I think there's songs that I could pick out, and they're like really good.
Yeah, because it's a good chunk. That is like indie shit that I got from Invincible, actually.
Really?
The show on Prime Video, yeah.
Yeah, that had really
Some of
good
the
music.
songs on there are very good.
Yeah. Yeah, but then looking through it, it's like I have a couple songs from Jack Harlow. I have some of Matt Watson's music. Young Gravy, Dominic Fike. But then I have like a few Kanye tracks and Drake and stuff like that. So. But yeah, I wouldn't say I listen to a lot of mainstream.
Yeah,
I think
I'm kind of the same way. My stuff is just like it's
that
a
you like
lot
and-
of indie artists.
I think as long as it's stuff that you like,
Thanks.
you know, like, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
I know there's also like social situations that you get. Like last night, we were playing music, and they said, Dan, pick some songs, and I was like, you guys don't want to listen to what I listen to.
Oh yeah, dude, I am quaking when somebody gives me the aux.
Someone says pass you off. We were at a bar one night, and I was like, do I look for Young Gravy? And I was like, no. I was still sensible enough, like not gone enough, where I was like, no. I was like, nobody listens to Young Gravy. So I played Neighbors by J. Cole. And I had like, because it's a good song, and it's more like a song that like some people know, and it's more of a mainstream song than Young Gravy, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I had like 3 people walk up to me separately, and they're like, did you play this song? And I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm never getting aux again. And they're like, yo, Neighbors slaps. And I was like, yeah, it does. Ha ha. So I was like, I'm the music master now. They're never gonna let me not play music. Then I think I played probably some Joji or Matt Watson, and they're like, who's playing this? And then I was confident enough at that point where I was like, me, man. Doesn't it slap? And like, no, what is this? It's like, oh, guess I'll just go
Kind of
back
a
into
mess.
hiding.
You know, you were talking about video game music earlier. I don't know if you'd want to talk about this, but nominees for the Game Awards came out.
What?
Not
This is
too
news
long
to
ago.
me.
So
I
let
didn't know
me
that.
read you the nominees. You know, we don't need these cupcake categories. The big one, Game of the Year.
Ooh.
We got 6 nominees. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Okay, immediately to me, the only 2 that jump out are Psychonauts 2 and It Takes Two. The 2 twos.
Yeah, I've played 3 of the games. I've played the 2 you mentioned plus Deathloop, and out of those, it's an easy Psychonauts 2 for me.
Yeah, they each have their cool like niche thing, right? Like Psychonauts 2 is, who is it? Coney, one of our favorite YouTubers, was talking about how some people didn't like Psychonauts 2 because looking at the first one, it's a really like campy game where it's really funny and stuff, and it's like about like it's got all these jokes about going into people's minds, and they're at like a what is it, like a training like camp for young psychics, and it's really fun. Like we talk about our favorite character, like Dogen, who's just this stupid kid who is hilarious as hell. And then he gets
It's that
his,
like deadpan humor.
what is he?
Thing,
Yeah. What does he say when he gets his brain taken out?
All they say is TV.
Oh yeah.
It's like that monotone type thing.
Yeah. And it was a really good game. But then you go to Psychonauts 2, and it's a little bit different of a tone about how, like, talking about, like, mental illness and, like, how it's not cool to fuck with people's minds and, like, just a lot, some more serious topics. It's still very, very funny. They've got that humor in there at the right points, and it's really good humor. And it's really good gameplay, too. But it's a different tone, for sure.
Yeah, I think I really like it though because I think
yeah.
that's also kind of due to the way that like the way we look at mental health has
Right,
evolved over
right.
those. Because what is it? 15 years since the original one came out? Longer?
You looking it up? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. It has been a while, I know. Because
Yeah, that's from the first game is from 2005.
so 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right. It's more of a serious issue. It's more prevalent, like it's more talked about now. So it makes sense that they would. I guess it doesn't make sense because some games shy away from that, but I would say it's very cool of them to kind of bring it into the mainstream in that the medium of video games, because I'm sure it's been done, but I don't think it's been done by of as big of a company and uh, someone that's already been established, having already made Psychonauts and made that Rhombus of Ruin game for VR. For them to do it in their second one, that was obviously more hyped up because we're in more of a media age, so there's more people who probably had access to the title and played it. So it's cool to kind of have that representation out there. I think for people who maybe don't want to like be viewed as being crazy or like a monster or something if they had a mental illness, just kind of portraying it as like this happens, like there's people out there with this and we just need to like treat them the way you treat anybody else and be there for them. So I think they did really cool with that idea of just showing mental illness and like just like not to fuck with people's brains and that type of stuff. But pivoting to It Takes Two, that tackles another issue of where parents might be fighting or like have a divorce, and like viewing it from like the child's. I guess the game's not from that point of view, but they like take glimpses at the kid or of their daughter, and like they've got like the stuffed animals or whatever the hell the book. God, I hated that fucking book.
The book, Dr.
Yeah.
Hakeem, is what you're
Dr.
talking about,
Hakeem.
bro.
I hated that dude. When we played through that, and I think that's also a really cool part of it. I don't know if a game of the year has ever won that, where it's like a multiplayer game like that. Not multiplayer, but like it's a co-op game.
Co-op? Well, there's not many games that are like required co-op, like It
Yeah.
Takes Two is.
I guess that's true, yeah. But I thought it was a really cool idea. I like the game a lot. I'm pretty sure it's probably shorter. And it's, I don't know, it's a different idea. I also don't really like that it's like published by EA because they're a bigger company, and well, I guess is Double Fine.
Double Fine's an Xbox studio now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's kind of cool that they've done that. There's like bigger like PlayStation or Xbox who bought out some smaller indie companies and give them some more resources.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like stifling creativity, like they're not really stepping on toes of projects that they already have or stuff that they want to work on. That always sucks.
Yeah.
Is you'll have a company buy somebody out and they'll be like, well, we've got these really cool like projects that we've been working on. They're kind of smaller and it'll be cool to have these resources. And they'll either tell them to just like table it or be like, no, just get rid of that. We're gonna have you guys work on a really cool shooter game. We need more of them.
Yeah.
It's like Call of Duty, but not Call of Duty, but Call of Duty. Like not actually. But I think those are definitely my two leaders. How about best ongoing game? Did you look
Best
at those?
ongoing? I haven't looked at that one.
Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy 14, Genshin, and Fortnite. Does Fortnite just sweep that? Or do you think Apex and Warzone can kind of...
Honestly, I'm not sure I know enough about most of those to...
Genshin I don't really know much about. I've heard it's like Breath of the Wild, but free.
Yeah, I don't think Genshin gets it.
Yeah, I guess to me, it's got to be one of those three shooters. But I don't know the popularity of Fortnite.
I also think you're underestimating the popularity of that Final Fantasy 14 game.
Really? Does it have kind of a bigger following?
So let me take a look real quick at, and keep in mind that for us, like, it's 9:30 a.m. about now, so like
yeah,
there's not that many people up, there's 10K people watching Final Fantasy 14 right now.
Oh, you're looking at like Twitch numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, I can believe that. Yeah. Is that what?
Which I mean,
okay, well, Well, what is
I
it?
guess
What is
the
it?
shooter games are probably higher, but like
What do you think?
that's not an insignificant number, is what I'm saying.
Do you think they're just looking at people who are interacting with the game or people who are playing the game?
I think it's definitely both.
Well, that's what
People
I mean.
watching is a
To
big
me,
part.
interacting would be like gameplay, watching, just like anything. Or are you just thinking it's like strictly gameplay?
Uh,
You think it's like everything?
yeah.
I can see that. Ooh,
Okay.
indie game.
I think that argument is kind of like moot now because Fortnite's at 115K
That's
right
what I
now.
mean. We're
So
not interacting with Fortnite.
I think it's bigger than I
That's what I
kind of
mean. I was in on
yeah.
Fortnite for like, I feel like everybody around my age, or my friend group too, was in it for like 7 or 8 months, but we were like, I was like, there's just like a gameplay element that I can't, like people, it seems like can't get, like a lot of people. There's a good chunk of people who can do everything. They can build, they know how to like watch for everything, they can get good equipment, they know how to like work the guns and the bloom on them and everything, the reticle, and I just straight up can't build. Like I can play Apex Legends or something and I can do decent. Of course, Fall Guys is my go-to battle royale game because it's funny and there's weird physics with it, but it's also infuriating. But yeah, I just think there's too big of a community for Fortnite now for it to ever die. Like I think it's
Yeah.
just like day after day or year after year going to take home that award.
They're in too deep now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fortnite guys probably want to get out, but all the kids are like, I want Master Chief in the game. They probably have Master Chief in the game. I remember when
They
that was
have Master Chief in the game.
I remember when that was a big thing with Fortnite. Just always being like, yeah, let's get Thanos in the game. Let's get Power Rangers in the game, and we were just making jokes about it. And then they're like, yeah, we've got a limited time event with Thanos. And I was like, what the hell? And they're like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna put
remember
the
that
Power
was
Rangers
back
in
when
the
I
game.
was still playing actively, and how we got to play as Thanos. And I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably about the time I was off. Was after that. I was like, I was like, there's just too many like 8-year-olds who can build and like drop down and shotgun me. And I can't do that. Yeah, I'm not good enough at that. But
Yeah, I was never good, but my friends were.
I think that's
So
what it was. It's one of those games where if your friends are playing it, you'll just play it because your friends are. You don't care if you die in the first 2 minutes.
yeah,
So
that's pretty much it.
it was one of the games where I was like, yeah, you guys can just like leave me dead. You don't need to revive me or anything. Like, I'd rather just watch at this point.
Yeah.
So
you
Fortnite,
were-
in my eyes, Fortnite takes that one.
yeah, you were wanting to bring up best indie next.
Yes, I think we're going to be on the same page about this one right after the first
Yeah.
game, but I'll read them all. Death's Door, I think it's Kenna, Bridge of Spirits,
Yeah.
Inscription, Loop Hero, and 12 Minutes. And I already know you're on the 12 Minutes train. You love that game so much.
I've got a couple strong opinions in this category, Dan. And first of all, 12 minutes. This is a little bit more of a niche one. So for those who don't know, it's just like a point and click, like adventure type thing where it's like you're in a time loop, and then this cop comes and like accuses your wife of murder, and then you have to like try and figure out what happened so that you can break the loop. And then the story gets really bad, takes disgusting turns, like physically disgusting. And
I was so
also,
sad for you because you were hyped up on it for
dude, yeah.
as long as it
And
had that release.
it's like puzzle stuff, and the puzzles, like the solutions make no sense. Like I don't know, man. It's one of the worst things I've ever played, and I finished the whole thing.
I still haven't gotten around to it, but
You don't get around to it, Dan.
I want to get it when
Never
it's like
get around
$1
to
or
it.
something, and just to play it. But
Well, okay. If you do, buy Game Pass. Don't buy the game. Don't let
okay.
fucking Luis think that this shitty fucking squirted out is good.
maybe I'll do that. Maybe if there's games on Game Pass that I want to get around to playing, I'll play 12 minutes and then play some of those games. But Inscription, I haven't personally played, but I do
I
want to
want
watch
to.
it because I love card battlers. Ever since you put me on to, ever since Gwent, really. Gwent was a really good game, and then you put me on to Slay the Spire. That's a very, very, very good game. Lots of replayability, too. That's the cool thing about it, I think. But Slay the Spire isn't on here. Inscription is. So, we'll keep on that. But it looks cool to me. I think it's supposed to be like a realistic card battle. But not realistic card battler, as in, like, it looks like you're actually playing the cards, but, like, the... Like, things on the cards are realistic, like animals, I think. Like wolves and rabbits and that type of stuff. I think.
Wacky.
Yeah. But it looks cool. I really want to try it. That might be the stiffest competition, but I think Death's Door is going to run away with this, dude. It's such a good game.
I can't believe it wasn't nominated for, like, a general game of the year.
I know. It should. Well, no, because Hades won it last year. I was going to say that maybe being an indie hurts you, but...
Well, Hades didn't win Game of the Year last year.
What? It didn't?
No.
It was just nominated?
Last of Us, man. It was nominated, but Last of Us won it.
Sad. Very sad. But, yeah. Maybe, I really shouldn't hurt your chances if you're an independent developer, but I guess maybe you don't have access to as many resources, I would say, in most as most others in your category. If it's a big freaking AAA developer, but the fact that they can come up with what they can, and gameplay-wise, art-wise, story-wise, everything can be that much better than some of these AAA developers, like Ubisoft putting out the same game for the 6th time now.
Yeah, and you get to play as a cute little crow, man.
As a cute little crow.
He's such a funny little guy.
That kills other people. Crazy.
Because he has to, Dan. He doesn't have a choice.
He has to do it.
He has to get the souls, bro. It's his job.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's his job.
Damn, imagine complaining about, like, your own job, and then this guy's out here like, man, I gotta collect souls, bro.
Bro, I gotta kill 5 people by Monday.
That would be terrible.
I'm gonna have to put in overtime, dude.
You're just talking about your jobs, and you've got a guy sitting in the corner, his head's down. It's like, hey, Rick, what do you do for work? I kill people. No, but, like, what do you really do? I kill people. I've got a quota of 6 by Monday. It's like, really?
Rick, I don't think you need to come to parties that we have anymore.
I don't want you to come to parties anymore until you fill your quota, okay? I don't like this uneasy feeling. Best esports athlete. I don't know any of those people.
Yeah, dude, esports is not, like... I do not pay attention to that whatsoever.
Esports is out of my realm. I don't like any of the esports games that they have up. But that's because I don't play any of them.
Yeah, that kind of does it.
Trying to see if there's any other ones that I really like. Most anticipated game. There we go. Elden. My favorite part. I'm going to skip the 4th one and put it last because the title that they have there is just funny. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Starfield, and then the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
not even a title, just like the second one coming up in that series.
Well, they don't have a title yet. They don't even know what they're going to call it.
I mean, that could really speak to the anticipation for it. There's not even a title, and people were just like, yeah. Give it to me now. Yeah, I'll pre-order. Put me down for $80. You gonna charge $90? Yeah. No, that's cool.
Dude, for me, it's an easy God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, 100. I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah. I've never played. I really want to play the first 3, but I played the new one on PlayStation. That was one of my favorite games. One of the only games I think I've ever I don't think I completed it. I don't think I did all the collecting and everything. But as far as all of the fights, even the Valkyries at the end after you've beaten the game, I did all of that, and I had fun the whole time. I never ran out of steam. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's such a good story too.
Speaking of Steam, did you see that they're going to put God of War on Steam? It's coming to PC?
Yeah, I did.
That's insane to me that they're starting to port PlayStation games to PC. Do you think there's a cutoff? Do you think there's certain games that they're going to be we'll never will never do that?
If they got God of War on there,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
put anything.
That
An
was
Uncharted
it to
game
me.
is coming. Like,
That was it to me. Was I was like, I could see Uncharted. It's just another like third person like shooter game, but I was like, God of War. The story is so good. The gameplay and everything, and it's always just been like one of those things they hold on to. I feel like, and then they said it was coming, so I was like, well, like matter of time till Spider-Man, I guess now. You know,
yeah.
I could see that being really appealing to people who are maybe trying to steer away from consoles and just like bought like PlayStation 5s or whatever for the exclusives. Because now, do you really have that much of a problem if you can wait a year or two and you're going to get these games anyways?
Here's the thing, Dan. It's a lot more than a year or two.
You think? Well, I guess it probably was, yeah.
God of War released in April 2018.
It's 3.
And is
a year or two. It's 3.
No, it's 4, Dan. It's not coming out until 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well. Yeah, I guess
So,
waiting a longer period of time, I guess. Also,
yeah.
I think isn't it like $50? I'm pretty sure it's priced at 50.
I think it is. It always is, and they're so old, and they still price them like that.
I guess that yeah, that's true. I didn't really think about that. Well, they can say it's new for PC. Just charge 60.
I guess, but
I see Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl under the best fighting game, and I cringe.
Dude, we fucked up.
I don't much care for that. Yeah,
That's
if you don't know what Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is, first off, get out from under the rock you've been living under. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was kind of more of it's kind of more of a niche game, but it was essentially supposed to be a Super Smash Bros. Type with Nickelodeon characters, and it was gonna be the talk of the town. There was like Super Smash or Smash Bros. Players who were like playing it during I guess pre-release, and they thought it was really good and it was a cool idea, the Nickelodeon characters, but there was just a lot of stuff that they could have done, I feel like, to improve the online play is terrible. First off, let's put that out there. It takes you 10 minutes to queue up into a game, and then once you get into the game, you're playing Claymation All-Star Brawl because the internet connection to whoever you're playing is just awful, and you're playing in stop motion. I hated it, so I played it a lot, mostly the offline stuff. I think you probably were the same as me, just getting achievements offline, and then I was just finally kind of like, you know what, it's just not worth it. And now they're doing something with, is it Fox or Warner Brothers?
Warner Bros. Yeah.
And that to me looks like they're doing a lot of the stuff that they've already got voice acting, and it's most of the like Matthew Lillard. People are going insane because he's doing the Shaggy. You've seen is her name Maisie Williams, who played Arya Stark?
Maisie Williams, yeah.
Maisie Williams. She's voicing Arya Stark for the game. There's probably some that aren't their original actors, but they're close enough. So I don't know. I think that'll be an improvement upon it, but yeah, it was definitely something where they shot for the stars or the shot for the moon and could have ended amongst the stars, but I think they're still just kind of floating in the clouds.
I think the best way to conclude this is I have the charts up for this game right now, Dan.
Oh no.
The all-time peak of concurrent players at the same time was 13,000 2 months ago.
Uh-oh.
Take a wild guess what it is now.
5,000. I'll say 5,000.
Whoa. Okay, you're really overshooting. There's 63 people playing the game right now.
What? Oh my gosh! I thought 5,000 was too low.
No.
Oh my gosh!
Literally 63 people.
Jeez, man. Well, I could probably get into some online play and work some kids if I could connect.
I don't think you could get into an online game.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It'll take 15 minutes for me to find somebody. And then they'll disconnect. Oh, gosh.
Well, that award talk, I think it's about time to
Yeah, I think we're
finish it up.
yeah, we're at the point to wrap it up. But catch us the Wednesday after. I'll plug that again. We've got Jason Lee coming on here, a great piano player. We'll talk about Tick Tick Boom. So if that's a movie that you're into, you can check it out because I'm sure we'll probably spoil it.
Even if it's not what you're into, that's your homework for today.
Yeah, it is an insanely good movie. We'll probably talk about that for a good chunk. I would say maybe around 10 minutes of the next episode. It won't be the whole episode, but and then we'll maybe pick his brain a little bit about tickling the old ivories. Talk to him about piano. We did used to play, but definitely not near the level that Jason plays. And then
I think we might be a little worse.
Oh yeah, probably. Then of course we'll have our usual content as well, some entertainment stuff. So nothing you're not used to. Just a cool way to kind of shake things up with a cool guest. So catch us next week with Jason. But I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Hope you enjoy the episode. We'll see you
enjoy
next week.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.